like Maui style with you. Cause if you ain't Maui styling, you just living on an island. Maui styling, don't let me down. 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 There is sunshine in your heart. It's been with you from the start. Lift your head, look to the heavens, then you will feel brand new again. Don't stop me now, Maui styling, don't let me down. 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 Reach out your hand and help each other. Your mother, your father, your sister and brother. There is love in this family. Pick yourself up and get on your feet. Don't stop me now, Maui styling, don't let me down. 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 Makena styling, up country styling, Campo styling, Kahanapali styling, Hana styling, Waiehu styling, Bahia styling, Keanai styling. Maui styling, don't let me down. 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 Maui styling, Maui styling, don't stop me now. Maui styling.
I like it a lot. Very pretty. Beautiful colors. Happy.
Happy. Beautiful islands, you know. We're up where you were today, the sunset from up there is
Uh-huh.
just probably the best view in the world. There's one other that I know of where I used to live in Kathmandu Valley, up at the end of the Kathmandu Valley,
Oh.
Pokhara, and the sunsets up there on those
I
mountains.
love Kathmandu.
It's very nice.
Uh.
Yeah. There's one place I never did any business whatsoever.
Wow.
You're a very sensitive man.
Yeah, maybe.
No, maybe he's about it. You have the hands of an artist.
Yeah, I finally found my medium too. You know, I've done some drawing in my life, and it's been okay, and some pastel work, but the computer for me, really now I can configure images and do all kinds of things with it that has taken me to another level, so.
Thank you. That's a great new way for me to look at the computer
Yeah,
as art.
it can be.
Really,
can be.
you know, because I have a lot of resistance to it,
Sure,
obviously.
sure.
And that's a good way to look at it. Because I see your beautiful artist's hands here, and I go, my thought was, so what's he working on the computer for?
The graphic design is what I enjoy. The actual code writing, if you look here, this is the code that's behind that page. And you have to write, I have to enter in all of these lines with everything that is appropriate to make this spring up. I don't enjoy that as much as doing
It's the color.
the colors and the graphics, but one drives the other, so
It's all going hand in hand.
that's right.
Well, I like this part.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too.
Well, that's, you know, the product of the internet is based on what is on the page, because, like, Am I correct, Roger? When you
Right.
do pages, you can also do sound, and you can also do.
I can do anything, you know, I mean, there's one I'm designing for, Jason's. There's an energy exchange thing. I'm going to make the sun pulse, windmills turn, and the water ripple.
Oh, how wonderful. I love it.
It'll look kind of like a pinball machine, but that's okay. It'll have some charisma to it.
It'll have some energy.
And then here's a solar design that I did that I like.
Oh,
for the solar
I
exchange.
love that.
So,
Isn't that powerful?
That's wonderful.
so we're looking at that
To enhance leads, you know, I
Okay.
always thought of internet as a global thing.
It
And
is.
what I'm learning is it's global yet. For example, if a Maui Net or a Maui Gateway or the other carriers have thousands of people here online, then it becomes a powerful advertising medium.
That's right.
So that is what speaks for me. What comes over the internet, that's what I'm understanding, Roger. When your background in radio, to me means that you've been able to use the power of the spoken word, and now you're able to take the spoken word and the visual and put it together. I bet this is a great medium for
It's
you.
all coming together, all of these mediums, including the one that you're doing now. Video and full motion video will be a function of the internet. In some ways it is already. And heavy hitters like Bill Gates are investing billions of dollars into bringing those technologies together, so the internet is as easy to use as waving one of those wands at your television to change your channel.
You like that, Airielle? So it doesn't have to be technical. The technical, like your business, Lighthouse Internet Design here on Maui, and what you do is, like, you're helping me, you're designing my presence in a new world. I mean, I love that page. I mean, it has such dynamism.
It's fabulous.
If it was in a magazine, the goal is you have to have it stand out in a magazine. Wow.
Images.
You're doing this interview over here.
Well, we're sort of having fun, you know, because we need a little of beauty in here too. That's why we're letting you be in. And then Roger and I will talk code. This is a family channel.
That's right.
I like having you in because your response is an absolute response when you're sitting there. This is a great new medium.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And what attracts you is the visual.
Right.
Roger does the thing to make the visual more spectacular.
See if I can
Yeah,
find.
I like that part.
Yeah.
I'm working on one. Let's see, where is it here? I have so much in this. Let's check this out. That's just a photograph. I probably can't find it. I'm working on a wave to put as a background. Oh, this up the. This is. The colors will change and the wave will become more dynamic. But this will be a background to a page, subdued in the background, so that the colors
Oh, that's amazing.
colors will fade back there.
Do you see that dolphin in there?
Well, I do, yeah, and I did it, but I hadn't realized. Look at that.
Oh, you
Coming right
actually
up.
designed the page?
I did. I drew the page.
You drew it?
I drew the page. Where I start is here in a place called Paint. It's a very simple paintbrush program, and how I started with that wave is I went up here and I did this. And then I filled it in a little bit. That's too much. I filled it in. See what that do? And then I took it, I saved it, went into this photo format. Went into modify, found some tools, found some colors.
Look at all those colors.
And
Jeez.
did,
You see, then you can have fun, Airielle.
Woo!
did
I like
this,
this part.
did this, and I did this.
Did it take you a lot to learn this, Rodger?
Yes.
Probably some time.
Yes, it did. It took a long, long time.
But the good part is, you can work with people no matter
Oh,
what
that's
their
fine.
level of technical expertise,
That's right.
right?
That's right. And you'd be surprised at people who heretofore have not considered themselves artistic. Once they get onto this technology, they just start to smoke. You're seeing now some real fabulous things happening on the internet, and for children who are, you know, on game machines or stuff like that, if you turn a creative child onto this, they're going to be turning out masterpieces on this computer, because this then can be transferred to a sheet of paper
Uh-huh.
and blown up poster size, done all kinds of things. If you take the computer image, you can then make a real image out of it, you know, a hard-edged image, and do pastels on top of it, do all kinds of things. So the potential really is endless.
It's incredible. And I love the dolphin back there.
Yeah, yeah. I maybe could touch this up.
So
Now,
you're-
see, the work that I've done on this page is not saved until I tell it to save. And I do that by, let's see, going here.
See all those different things, Airielle?
I know, it would take me hours to figure out where those things
Well,
were, what
once
I was
you
supposed
have-
to do with them.
Well, that's what's fun. There's all kinds of gradients, you know.
Right.
You don't have to take things to this length. That's what Rodger and people like Rodger do. They page, that's it, right? Page designers.
That's right.
Which means they help you take your idea and put it up in the world. I guess there's a part of our community that doesn't want to be bothered with the techie stuff, like me, Raj.
That's right.
That's why I guess I came to you. Look at that, Airielle. You like that?
So that's
Wow.
going to be a background for a page. We may use that for our water page. Who knows?
Okay.
You know, whatever.
Yeah.
And the image is reduced in size, in actually pixel size, so it'll load on the internet easily,
I
rather
see.
than just, you know, like a photograph. So that's the potential there. For artists, it's wonderful. For text communications, for people all over the world to communicate with one another. I have clients that I do business with in Wisconsin, in Portland, Oregon, in Seattle, here on Maui, in Hong Kong, in Honolulu, in Singapore, and
Wow.
in Jakarta, Indonesia.
All from the beauty of your Maui home.
All from right here.
Wow.
All from right here. On the slopes of Haleakala.
Is that what they mean when they talk about cottage industry? I guess this is a
Yeah.
great example.
It
huh?
is a great example. And it's a cottage that can reach the whole world.
Wow.
And there's lots of room for people to get into it now, too.
I see. I guess the power of television and video is, moments ago, you were here with Airielle.
Yeah,
Second, now here I am.
amazing.
Amazing. Well, we can do that on the screen.
We can. That's the point. It's a paradigm shift. The pages that I work on, I go from products and services such as a whitewater ranch in Wisconsin to a personal homepage for somebody in Palos Verdes, to a CAM project in Kaanapali Beach, to selling classic Harley motorbikes in Hong Kong to rich Hong Kong Chinese. Now, I know they're dwindling these days, but there's still some of them that go for it.
So the thing that I'm yet, and when we talk to our audience, you know there's people out there?
Mm-hmm.
The best part about them is they're just exploring now. This is a whole new world.
Yeah.
Very soon, you're already talking about this guy and this guy and this guy. Business is going to be done on this internet. It's already beginning.
It's
I mean,
already beginning,
right?
right.
But as far as a lead generation source, like I say, for me, you have business all over the world, but I look and think, this internet thing isn't so global. It has great local potential. For me, as a marketer or as an individual, it can become a social club, right? They have all kinds of personals
Chat
on the
rooms
net.
and things.
And chat rooms.
I have an old an associate in Lahaina that I worked with at a radio station there many years ago, who I haven't seen for a long time, and she and I communicate via the chat room on the internet from here to Lahaina. So it's both micro and macro.
Have you explored the voice email yet?
I have, yeah. There's a thing called Microsoft Net Meeting that I have used and that I like a lot. However, at this particular time, audio on the internet is certainly not FM quality, and it's hardly AM quality. It has to be compressed, and you can only use short bites, and if you're on live, it's a function of the telephone line and how many people are using the server at the same time, and it breaks up. It's going to get a lot better. That'll be cured in a year, year and a half, 2 years, whatever.
Wow.
While that happens, I'm concentrating mainly on the visual and keyboard text impact of the internet. I will get back into audio when it's a little better.
Why don't we put something up on the screen different? Let me see some of the pages that you've been doing.
Just since I've been here, which is 3 weeks from Portland, Oregon, since I relocated,
Right.
I've built out a number of pages.
Now, does it take you hours and hours? Is this some fantastic, expensive project for someone? I guess it could be.
It depends on how many images, how much graphics, what the project is, how much time to really understand how to sell it on this medium.
So you
it
have
doesn't necessarily have to be. There's
So-
one-page
Right.
internet spreads. There's 100-page internet spreads.
So you work with a client. For example, our people out here would recognize they have an idea what they want to do. It kind of helps people organize their thoughts and see exactly how can they clarify what they're doing and make it simple.
Mhm.
So Airielle, do you see is on the screen? Let's see what the monitor has. Kuau. Oh, I remember. That's really terrific.
This is the home page for Kuau that will go up on
Well,
the internet
yeah.
in a week or so. You go to programs, there's program highlights. You go to news, there's a summary of important Maui news.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. That is an important story.
It is. It's about somebody,
Mayor Linda Lingle running for governor now.
and Jason Schwartz running for mayor.
Well, that's true. That's a pretty important story.
Yeah.
I like that.
Then if you come down here, and this logo will take you to NBC News in New York for their daily news, and this will take you to my own internet scope that I'm building out as a internet sweep service to locate interesting internet sites and appropriate internet sites for people with specific interests.
So at this point, the internet has these what they call
And here-
search engines.
Here there's Maui weather. This is a daily,
So you do this every day. And
every day.
So it takes maintenance.
It does.
So this becomes like for someone like you, they're internet designer, then they're internet page maintainers.
That's right, project manager is what I call.
So that when we talk about kids coming out of school and having computer knowledge, for example,
Mhm.
that's when they talk about the future of marketing and development in computer. I don't know if people understand or appreciate that. We know that our kids getting out of school need to have a job. So you're really, like I would think, a very important bridge to help some of the kids around here learn and use a lot of the knowledge they've had at school.
What I might do here is to take 2 or 3 apprentices per year rather than a big gang of kids that you're trying to control and help with their lifestyles and whatever. To take a couple of young people on a real serious apprentice term in business trying to teach them the internet. I think probably I'll consider that after I'm more established here.
Have you had much contact yet with our tech park, I guess?
Not yet, no.
Not terribly much.
I'm looking forward to it.
I think there's an important...
I was on Oahu for a year developing my skills and doing pages for people, and everybody on Oahu had a lot of respect for the Maui Technology Center.
Did they? That's
Yeah.
good. You hear that? So, when I think of what's going on here, I wonder what is going to really change. I see all these big stores coming and wiping out mom and pop, I'm afraid. And I see it's like a whole revolution that's happening in the way we approach everything. You can get almost anything over the net.
Mom and
right?
pop can move to the internet because the internet is a great leveler. It knows no, if you look at NBC here, NBC's presence on the internet is no more prominent than Kuau's
Or
presence.
like as I look at
or
this,
any of the pages.
like if you put on my logo in a sea of stuff and it's got the juice on the visual,
That's right.
then I have equal status with NBC.
That's right.
You're just as likely to click on me as NBC.
There's a roughneck in Los Angeles called Matt Drudge who is running a little internet news service. It's just himself, and I guess he's now, because he's making a lot of money all of a sudden, putting out rumors and gossips. He says himself that his stories are 50% true, and he is one of the ones that broke the story about Clinton, picked up by the Washington Post, picked up by ABC News. He's
Clinton,
just a guy in a room
Oh yeah.
in Los Angeles on the internet. A good example of some things about the internet, a bad example about other things. Journalists, quote unquote, are outraged about this fellow, but then, you know, most journalists are not worth their salt in this world, really. They're just in it for the lifestyle, the glory, and the power, much like most of corporate America. You know, so I'm happy to see that kind of thing happen, that you can become a journalist on the internet. Anybody can.
So, I really like the fact, you know, it's like, to me, the best part of the internet is that it gives a guy like you're talking about, the Matt Drudge, and his little report from a little room in Los Angeles announcing President Clinton's
Doings.
supposed indiscretions.
Yeah.
And it could have been all kinds of different news services, but it was an individual. That's a great equalizer. That means mom and pop have a way to sell their product. What I don't yet understand is what it's going to take. Maybe it's going to be a generational change, but what is it going to take to have people recognize this as a vehicle for purchase? We're in a sort of a funny time now. You see the big stores and you end up, I find myself buying more generic product from some big store because of a price or a convenience.
Well, first of all, people are always going to want to go and hang out in the marketplace with, and the bazaar with, other human beings and touch the merchandise and see the fruit and have a cup of coffee. That the internet is never going to replace that kind of shopping. The internet might work very well for specialty items. The Sultan of Brunei about 6 months ago bought a $12 million gem off the internet. He saw it at a Sotheby's auction page on the internet, and he emailed them saying, "I am the Sultan of Brunei. My pockets are very, very deep, and I want that jewel." And they said, "No problem, Mr. Sultan, here it is." Big story about the internet, you know, so specialty items.
I mean, if you got an email message that said, "I am the Sultan of Brunei, and I want to spend 12 million, my reaction would be, hey, I think we got some joker here loose on the internet.
Well, it could have gone like this, you know. Sotheby's in London is a pretty snooty organization. It could have gone, "Oh, Cyril, look, an email from the Sultan of Brunei. He says he wants to buy a jewel. Do you think he has enough money? Let's ask him for a credit reference. Let's do a TRW on it."
They don't know who he is.
But who knows? Again, the commerce level. Picture this. Somebody in the Midwest in Chicago wants to sell grain, wants to sell truckloads, carloads, canisters of grain, and puts it up on the internet. We are auctioning off this lot. Here's what it looks like, here's what it costs, here's the particulars. Somebody in Malaysia needs that grain, gets on the internet saying, "Your price is acceptable, we are wire transferring with eCash to your account in Chicago the amount of money, get it on a 747 over here because we need it post-haste." That's the kind of commerce that will happen on the internet. For human beings, it'll be specialty items. Look at the success of the home shopping network. When the visual medium of the shopping networks on TV come together with the internet, which is already happening, that will be a big commerce.
Or like, for example, here at Maui Arts and Music Association, when we're talking about creating discs, those discs can be purchased, and also sound bites showing the world what we do. So this is a great medium for previewing things.
Sure.
And being able to, for example, someone that wants to kind of look at different jazz or whatever kind of, any kind of subject.
Yeah.
This has unlimited capability to let you search and play wherever your mind will take you.
Sales levels now on the internet worldwide are about $200 million a year, which is
Really?
a sort of drop in the bucket, but they're forecasting 20 billion by the year 2000, less than 2 years away.
And I say 20 billion, and you and I know that even 20 billion is a drop in the bucket to what it's going to be just a few years thereafter.
That's right.
Which is why someone like Bill Gates spends billions to position himself,
That's
because
exactly right.
the money here we're talking about is spectacular money. So that means, for example, an island like Maui, I'm bringing it right back down to what I know and what I understand. By being able to sell a product at a distance to people all over the world to raise money for the environment like we're doing through the product sales, we're able to bring in revenue so we don't have to burden local people. And by sharing our vision with people all over the world. I guess that concept could work for all kinds of people,
It can.
all kinds of
It can.
industries, and create a whole this cold internet can be a very warm and loving and giving vehicle.
It can indeed. I live on a fairly isolated part of the island, which is what I prefer, because I find, having been a corporate vice president for CBS in San Francisco and New York.
CBS, you have NBC. We should put something else on the screen. Let's put something else on.
No. Having done a lot of corporate things, having been very social in my younger years, I find now that I'm much more hermetic, but I do like to communicate, so I can be here alone virtually for days at a time, concentrating on this, but communicating in hyperspace.
With your friend in Lahaina.
That's right, with the business associates all over the world. That really suits me to a T. Then to go out from time to time, once a week here locally, once every 4 months to Asia where I have some interests, or back to the mainland US, or even to Honolulu, it really means something to go out and socialize and have a good time. So that's basically...
Let's put something different on.
The last radio station that I worked at seriously to develop was a station in southern China in Guangdong province in Guangzhou, which used to be Canton. Big place in southern China, 12 million people. The government owns the radio, controlled basically from Beijing, but because of their new capitalistic policies, they are willing to broker time. So they brokered time to some people on one of their FM frequencies for a station called Yes FM, a mixture of American hit tunes, some British rock, some canto pop from Hong Kong and Taiwan, and with Mandarin-speaking and Cantonese-speaking Chinese kids doing it. I went there and installed a computer system for all of their continuity, which means all of their commercials, all of their jingles, all of their public service announcement, everything came from the hard drive of the computer. The disc jockeys were live, but the computer did everything else. A very efficient way to run a radio station, because instead of investing in big control rooms and a lot of expensive fixed structures, you invest in 3 or 4 PCs, a couple of monitors, and for about $10,000 US, you have yourself a full functioning radio station. You can then, and that would have cost $100,000, $200,000 10 years ago without this technology. So that's a way that the radio business can really benefit, and for Kuau, that's what we're going to do, so it can stay on the air, so it can maintain a very, very low overhead and supply the community with the most effective programming.
Isn't that exciting? So I guess we're going to have to watch our radio. Let me see some of those other pages that you've done. Would you? I'd love to see.
This is called a link page, which means...
Why don't you follow with us?
It means it has a bunch of links to different things. This goes to that Maui weather that we were talking about. This goes to an Apili Bay condo. This one goes to a map of Oahu. This goes back to my lighthouse internet design. This again goes to Kuau Radio. So I'm in the process of building this out. This will go to the Hawaii Visitors Bureau. There'll be all kinds of Hawaii information on this page. And this page is a standalone page, which means that people all over the world can access only this link page, although it is part of another site. It is part of the Kuau site.
Now, people here on Maui, many of you out there, are looking at this and thinking, hey, I know how to develop and build a page. What else do I want to see about this television show? I'm knowing that you're doing new and exciting things that are different, if you will, than the things on Maui. What kind of differences? I mean, I know that you're working on things that involve faster servers, different kind of languages. What's happening now?
Well, the business is changing radically in that area because of the heavyweights that we're talking about, specifically Bill Gates investing so much money into making the internet easier to use, quicker, more accessible to many more people. So you really have to stay on top of your equipment in the internet. 3 or 4 years ago, the internet was a pretty expensive proposition from the standpoint of a internet service provider, which is what people like you and I use to access the internet, say MauiNet or Maui Gateway or whatever. That's an internet service provider. The biggest one in the country is AOL, and they don't do a very good job. They don't do a very good job because the best thing about AOL is their marketing. They've oversold themselves. They're very self-promotion oriented. Getting back to my main point is that the Unix operating system that was prevalent 3 or 4 years ago as the only operating system is now being replaced by a Windows-based program, an add-on and a enlargement of Windows 95 called Windows NT. Windows NT, if you build a server system with Windows NT, it's about 1/10 of the cost and about 600 times more efficiency as far as I'm concerned for the individual user.
Wow.
To answer your question about the new technology, you really have to stay on top of it, and there are new technologies for internet service providers being developed every single day of the week, and that will make the internet more accessible and faster, and I'm staying very close to those developments so that I can offer my customers a first chance at a lot of them.
So you mean I'm going to get some special benefit
Exactly.
from all kinds of technology breakthroughs? Oh, good,
Right.
good.
And
So-
what I try to do with this, as I've done in my broadcasting career and my teaching career and whatever, is to use almost a biblical approach to making money for myself, but tithing to the community a certain amount of time and effort to do good work with this technology. You and I are talking about some sites that can benefit some local farmers that grow
All right.
vegetables and things.
Absolutely.
You know?
Well, I think that way. You can hear. I'm
Sure.
constantly thinking of how to use something that will let us get our message widely known to helping make commerce here locally better. Because I really do believe that local economies need to be more self-sufficient. It's really sort of odd, but funny and happy for me to know that a technology that can seem so distant and global can be so powerful locally to stimulate and build our economy here in Maui.
Exactly. There is one caveat that I would offer people for the internet. It's not a quick fix. It takes a while for it to build. It takes a while for people to find the pages that are appropriate. There's a lot of people signing onto the internet. Maybe 30,000 sites worldwide a day are going up on the internet. So to make sense of all of those sites and the jumble, it takes some time and it takes some effort to work a site. But if somebody is serious about the internet, they will get results if they stay on top of it and just don't expect it to be something that they put up and then forget about it that's going to put money in their pocket. That doesn't happen, except in very rare cases.
You know, I'm very happy to have you on the show. I know that your involvements here on the island already have made an impact in your short time that you're here, but that's not even true. You were here before, weren't you?
I was here for 2 years in 91 and 92.
91 and 92. We remember 91 and 92. When was that? That was after.
It was just
I like to
after
think
the
of that as
bubble
Saddam
burst.
1.
That's
I
right.
hope we don't have Saddam 2 here. Yeah. So you were here in radio.
I was with KPOA over in Lahaina,
KPOA,
and I
yeah.
installed one of these systems in KPOA to make them better. And noticed the ratings just came out the other day, and KPOA with their island sound is now head and shoulders above any other radio station on this island for people who listen to the radio.
Wow.
28 share of the ratings, and everybody else is on the island are fighting for 6s and 7s. So that's good. It makes me feel good.
28 compared to 6 and
Yeah,
7.
yeah.
So I guess we'd say that the Hawaiian culture and sound, the people that come to the island, I don't know how this is measured, still want that Hawaiian sound.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
And the people that live here, they also want the Hawaiian sound, because 28 compared to 6 and 7.
I know.
Wow.
I know.
So now when I see Boy Kanai, I'll know. He was on, we had him on our show.
Uh-huh.
Aloha. You know, he has the show.
Yeah.
We have a terrific mix of people here. That is very dramatic.
It is dramatic.
Wow.
It is dramatic. And they've been here since 1984, and they also own a station called KLHI, which is what they call alternative rock. It's a pretty strange sounding radio station, but I'm assured by the people who own KPOA and KLHI that that's what young men are listening to. If so, we're doomed.
Young man. What about women too, I imagine?
I don't know.
Are they geared toward young men?
Certainly old men like me can't listen to it.
Really?
Yeah.
So KPOA really has made an amazing dent. I'm just amazed at that.
Yeah. And they're good people over there too.
They are good people.
Yeah.
So this.
Pokey and Alakai and Chuck Bergson that runs it, and
Right.
Debbie who runs the office, and all of them are just fine.
Oh yeah, and I
folks.
know that they are probably, what do they say? Have all this time have been having great benefit of what you set up. Well, I know that this is probably not a medium you're off and on.
No, it's been a
You're
long
behind the behind the scenes.
I was a news
We've
anchor on
appreciated having
I was
you
a news
here.
anchor on Channel 13 in LA for one short year, and I didn't like people coming up to me in supermarkets and bothering me while I was buying my Mazzola.
So if you see Rodger out there while you want your Mazzola,
Yeah, at Foodland.
But they can come up and say hello to you here.
They could, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're not going to be on a
No.
whole year here.
Yeah.
We won't have them on a whole year.
No.
Now, I don't know if we've actually done the formal introduction. We're going to do an introduction and we're going to do an exit in quick succession. Watch this. You'll like this. So, Rodger, thank you for joining us.
You're
It's
welcome.
really been a great pleasure. Right,
Yes,
Airielle?
thank you, and thank you.
And we appreciate you coming on our show. I
Sure.
know it's not a normal medium for a guy who's behind the scenes. Your LA experience, you don't want to be a newscaster again.
No,
So you're going to be...
only on this medium.
Yeah. Well, I'm really having great joy in knowing that there are people like here that are like you who have had experience in different mediums and now going to bring it here to Maui. Because we here in Maui, you know, I guess you'd say we don't want to have thousands of people coming here, but we need to have experts to help our people here really fully appreciate and get more up to speed so that, quote, technology doesn't pass them by. We need to be up to speed now.
Sure.
So your internet design is probably just at the right time.
Maui's the best place on the planet. It's right in the center of the Pacific, in the center of the universe as far as I'm concerned.
I agree. What do you think? In fact, we'll take your cards and letters on that one. So, thank you for being with us, Rodger.
Thank you.
Aloha.
Aloha.
So watch this. This is the magic of television. 1, 2, 3, and...
Wow, amazing.
The miracle of TV.
Well, Rodger, I would love if you would show Airielle some of the pages that you've done here.
Sure.
Maybe some that you've done for me and others, and walk her through the internet, because I don't think Airielle has had a great deal of experience. Have you, Airielle?
You know I haven't, Jason.
Not a great deal, but
a
just a
little
little bit.
I sit with you while you play with it and some other people,
Yeah.
maybe, yeah. And I'm going to learn too, especially now that I see all this color.
Don't